Coming up in Birdmen Racing, we bring you the Probase World Tour's first ever U-Turn Wingsuiting Race from the cliffs of Kjerag, Norway. After the accuracy contest in bustling Istanbul city, the setting for the second leg of the tour couldn't be more different. And as Probase Tour athletes gather on the banks of the Lysfjord for the first of the tour's 4 wingsuit races, the atmosphere is charged.
I like the turns, and it's challenging and fun, I think. Lots of friends coming here, but I like the race and everything, you know, so that's why I'm here.
The first leg of the tour in Istanbul was marred by strong winds and ended with only 1 full round of competition completed. At the end of the competition, Major Alistair McCartney was controversially declared the winner.
I've won, but it's kind of a pretty bad way to win. I won by not jumping by that round, not completing. So obviously it's fantastic that I've won, but not a great way to win.
After a stressful first event, Probase organiser Hubert is hoping that the fickle Norwegian weather stays clear and windless for long enough to complete this second leg of the tour.
We're, competing in an outdoor environment. We're competing in a highly sensitive environment when it comes to weather conditions, and safety has to be our top priority. We can never compromise that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Another headache for organisers is the brand new event format and rules. Base events are difficult to organise at the best of times, and Hubert is going to have his hands full running this first of a kind.
We're venturing into a completely new territory, something that's never been done before.
Coming into this event, Major Alistair McCartney leads tour standings after winning the Istanbul Showdown. But this is a completely different type of competition, testing a pilot's speed, manoeuvrability and accuracy. And Alistair enters the contest at a disadvantage, flying an old model of wingsuit, while many of the pilots are equipped with the latest technology. Will Alistair be able to maintain his lead against the odds? Norway is a base jumping mecca, and the steep overhanging cliffs of Kjerag make this one of the busiest base jumping zones in the world. The numerous exit points have varying degrees of difficulty, and this is a great place for beginners to start their base careers, while experienced trackers and wingsuit pilots can enjoy long flights in close proximity to the rock face. For many of the gathering athletes, Kjerag marks the start of their European wingsuiting season, and the excitement and joy is palpable as they launch themselves from the steep cliffs. This will be the first ever U-Turn race of the tour. This race format is designed to test the pilot's speed, manoeuvrability and precision as they execute a high-speed mid-air turn above a marker and then sprint to the finish line in a race against the clock. Being the first ever U-Turn event for the athletes leaves the competition wide open, and nobody knows just what to expect.
It's been a dream of mine to come here for years and years and years and years, and finally made it. And it's great because you got your family of cool, core, happy, shiny people, jumpers, together in Istanbul. And now we all get together in Norway here, and it's just awesome to see all the happy faces in a different country.
Kjerag is fantastic. It's a historical base jumping location. It's one of the first really big walls that was opened up legally and accepted by the culture, the community locally, and the base jumping community internationally.
This place, I think, for base jumping was discovered in 1997. If there is any place in the world which actually helped out base jumping to be growing really super fast, that's Kjerag. And it's a good starting point for every single jumper's career.
Kjerag is definitely one of the safer places in the world to go base jumping. It's perfect to do your first jump.
For tracking and wingsuiting, this place is a mecca. You really have to earn your jumps because the weather's so fickle, but when you get to do some of these big walls, it's probably the best base jumping you can do by far.
It's very cold here in Norway. You can get 4 seasons in a day. It can go from 3 degrees Celsius to 20, and sometimes you get snow in the middle of summer. It's just, that's how Norway is.
This place is amazing. Like, this area is the place I've always wanted to come to. I've always heard that it's got really cool hikes with really unique mountains, and I'm not disappointed at all here.
Hard to describe. There's a very brutal nature. Super steep, super high. The cliffs are high enough that you jump that same height from an airplane. The thing that appeals people to come here to jump, it's the sheer size of it and the beauty. It's absolutely gorgeous out here.
Well, the fact is that nowadays, younger and younger jumpers with lower and lower skydiving knowledge entering the base jumping and jeopardizing base already because they're jumping without sufficient skill. But then Kjerag is here to offer what it offers, nice beginning, and Kjerag actually keeping this basic level high enough so that base jumping is still acceptable for the society and that we all can enjoy. Without Kjerag, base jumping would be poorer, you know, would be not so nice.
Since Kjerag was first jumped in 1994, there have been over 4,000 recorded jumps with 11 fatalities. A stark reminder to aspiring base jumpers of just what's at stake. Base jumping has grown exponentially in recent years, and to help safely introduce the flood of newcomers to the sport, the Stavanger Base Club in Lisbotn hosts the first base course run by Brad Pato.
People would just come here from day one, no training, no nothing, and they just jump off the cliff. And now with the pendulator we can do 10 to 15 exits an hour per person, and that's saved a lot of lives.
Norwegian Trond Teigen has spent 5 years skydiving, specifically with the aim of starting to base jump, and finally feels he's ready for his first attempt. He's come to Kjerag to take the plunge under Pato's watchful eye.
Yeah, that was better, man, much better.
I think I saw my first base jumping video in 2003. That's when I discovered base jumping.
I feel more ready after doing this. This was pretty scary.
It's taken me 5 years of skydiving to do my first base jump, and I've learned a lot from very skilled people, and I'm taking small steps. I feel like I'm doing this the right way. This summer, I decided it's time to go. Let's do it.
While Trond feels he's well prepared for his first jump, there's a lot of fear to overcome before you throw yourself off a kilometre-high cliff. And not all people who come to Kjerag to jump manage to conquer that fear. Over the years, Pato's seen more than a few would-be jumpers trudge back down the mountain.
Some people walk back, some people won't jump.
Even with 5 years of preparation behind him, Trond is visibly nervous. Will he have what it takes to leap into the abyss?
For my AFF course, for my first skydive, and for my first wingsuit skydive, I was nervous as hell. And when you're on the exit or in the door of the airplane, the nerve goes away and you switch into focus mode.
John Tegan bends down to have a taste of the most marvellous Norwegian water. His stash bag should be taken off at all times.
Still kind of nervous.
Once you're all geared up, I'm going to come out to you to have a double check of everything that you...
I do feel the responsibility and I try and be as safe as I can. A lot of people call me like very safe person, but with base jumping you can be as safe as anything and you can still die. If you control all the errors and the margins for the danger part, you can lower that scale a big time, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to improve the safety of all base jumpers.
As late as 2011, I lost a good friend because he had cold hands and he couldn't get his pilot chute out in time. So it's a wake-up call when things like that happen, and you definitely don't want to be in the same situation. Brad did a good job calming my nerves a little bit, put me through my phases on exit. I was nervous as hell. If you don't do everything right, you can end up in hospital or you can end up dead.
Everyone gets scared. They learn fear their own way. Some people run away from it. Some people attack it.
Passo's training and Tron's years of preparation pay off as he executes a near-perfect first base jump.
I've never been the guy who can walk up to a girl in a bar and just strike up a conversation, but I think base jumping will give me a confidence boost in many aspects of my life, because I know I can jump off a cliff and do it successfully now. So I'm probably going to be handling things better.
Skydivers learn to direct their flight in freefall. This directional movement is called tracking and is one of the skills all aspiring base jumpers need to learn. The ability to direct flight is crucial to get away from the object you jumped off before opening your parachute. And as base evolved, jumpers started to look for ways to increase their maneuverability. It was here in Kjerag that one of the pioneers of tracking, Atle Dahl, made a giant leap forward in the sport with a small modification to his pants.
One day I went up, I brought my rain pants, strapped it around the waist and tightened it at the ankles. I was having a smoke before the jump, and I made 2 holes in the rain pants. Then I jumped off and tracked like I never did before.
The holes in smoke pants let in air, inflating the legs and expanding a jumper's surface area. This slows the rate of fall while increasing the ability to fly forward. Manufacturers took note of the smoke pants, and nowadays professionally manufactured tracking suits with more sophisticated air inlets continue to radically improve performance, so modern trackers can fly lines that a few years ago were unthinkable.
That was the start of the tracking pants, and now the tracking pants, they are really good.
I'm afraid of heights, tell you the truth. But as soon as I put this on, I feel like I'm Superman. These days, if you're really good, you can fly like a wingsuiter. We've got videos where we're flying within a metre or 2 from the wall. 10, 15 years ago, you'd never believe that someone was doing that.
Tracking is similar in a way to wingsuiting, the way it's become, but also a very different way of flying. because your technique and body position are different. Some people really like tracking and some people really like wingsuiting.
Flying a wingsuit is flying a machine that is designed for flying, and flying a tracksuit is more of flying your body, and it's a completely different feeling. And in tracksuit I just feel much safer. After say 3 seconds, I see that I cannot make it, I can just pull because it's just pants and jacket. And if it feels good, I can just keep on flying. And I can pull any moment. I don't have a lot of wings, I don't have a lot of extra factors that can affect my opening.
Tracking pants are easier to handle because your hands are free. If you have some problems with your stability, it's easier to correct it and safer.
Previously, the Kjerag leg of the Probase Tour was a tracking race, but this year, for the first time ever, organisers have decided to turn it into a wingsuiting race with a difference.
Actually setting up a race course where the jumpers jump off a cliff 1,000 meters over the fjord. They race down a straight line right next to the rock cliff, and then they have to make a sharp right-hand turn, we call it the U-turn, and then race back towards the finish line, cross it, open their parachutes, and have minimum 20 seconds under the parachute before they land. So it's extremely challenging. It's going to be new territory for literally everyone out there. The races we've produced and organized in the past were all straight races, which means there was no, turning or anything like that. And I believe that this will certainly be the top criteria that's going to make or break this race for competitors.
He's doing the turn right now. He's going on the final stretch. Coming over the goal line. There he crosses. Nice and high. No, I think he crossed, huh?
The main challenge will be to sort of find the balance between how much speed you can give in the beginning and how clean and tight you can fly your turn. I think that's really going to be the biggest challenge. It's quite difficult to fly a tight turn in a wingsuit, and it takes a lot of experience and skill to actually be able to do that, because if you fly too tight, you will simply lose speed, stall your suit, and start sinking out, and you're going to have to, open your chute. The other option is to fly a really wide, slow turn, but then obviously you're going to lose time because you have to fly a really wide turn. So I think it will depend on who's going to be able to keep the speed best through that turn, not lose the speed, not lose too much altitude. Also the actual angle of the turn, how early you started, how quickly you can actually finish it. It's going to be a whole lot of timing and a whole lot of calculating in the air.
You've got to power up real fast, and then it's just one big turn, and you've got to keep your power going until you pass the end. You can't bust the turn, which means you can't turn early. You've got to make sure you get around it or you get disqualified, and you just got to keep your speed through the turn.
We got a fully automated electronic timing system. It was developed for ski racing. So you got a photocell, a light beam basically going across the top exit platform. As soon as the pilot crosses that light beam, he triggers the timer, which starts automatically on the bottom. And the finish line is basically set up. There's two lines going across two poles parallel to each other, and there's a judge lying under it and stops the time manually as they fly over. So, as you lie under it, you create one line with it, so you have always the same finish line basically for every racer, and that's basically the virtual finish line they have to cross. It's going to be very different from anything these guys have ever done competitively, so it's really something we're all looking forward to.
Jason Maletsky has close to 20 years' experience in skydiving and base jumping. He's been pro skydiving for 12 years and has won 7 world titles as a canopy pilot.
Canopy piloting is a sport where we jump out of aircraft about a mile up, 5,000 feet, and we open a small parachute right after exit. There's not much free fall involved. And then the objective is to build as much speed as you can in a vertical direction and turn that all into lift and forward speed right before you get to the ground. So it's high stakes, high speed, and it's really exciting and dangerous sport.
Jay's currently joint second on the Probase rankings and is firmly focused on winning his first base jumping title this season. He epitomizes the new breed of pro athlete who relies on science and technology, not luck, to win events.
The new sport that I'm engaging in now is wingsuit base jumping, something I've had a passion for a long time, and I feel like I've met all my goals in canopy piloting, and I'm now able to divert my attention to wingsuit base jumping. And just at the same time, there's new disciplines in the sport. The races are really starting to kick in. They're getting more organization. A couple things that I like to use to help give myself an idea of how my performance is going and not just relying on the judges, so I can train in advance and track my performance. Wear a small camera to be able to record the jump and use that in conjunction with a small GPS device mounted to the back of the helmet that records the flight track, the air speeds, the forward, vertical, all the different components of the flight. And I can analyze it later and see how the performance was. This really lets me understand better how my exit went, whether I got a really strong push and started flying right away, whether I started to have a little wobble somewhere in the flight, if my speed decreased or increased, depending on which portion of the flight I was on. It's been really helpful to gain a better understanding.
As the world's best wingsuit pilots make their way to the start of the Kjerag U-Turn Race, the unpredictable Norwegian weather looks perfect for flying. After the wind-affected Istanbul showdown, most of the competitors are unhappy with their rankings and hungry to throw themselves off the cliff in an effort to gain some points. At the top of the standings is Alistair McCartney, ahead of a three-way tie for second between Miles Dasher, Sebastian Einecker and Jay Maletsky. But this is the first ever wingsuiting U-turn race, and anything can happen. Alistair McCartney is flying a 2-year-old suit, and with base jumping developing at such a rapid pace, this puts him at an extreme disadvantage. To make it through to the finals, this jumper with a cause is going to have to pull out all the stops to beat his better equipped rivals.
It's actually a pretty good day for Norway. We're pretty excited because it looks like it's a full jumping day. We have a total of 35 people. Everybody does 3 rounds. Out of the 3 rounds, they can toss one, the worst one. And the best 2, we take the average. The top 16 out of everybody who enters moves into the semifinals. Then there's going to be 1 semifinal round, and the top 8 out of those do another final runoff, and that determines the winner.
I'm going first. I'm showing these kids the way how to do it properly.
What is challenging over here is the winds are really strong coming out of the west, I believe. So we want to be facing that direction when we open. But the problem is that because of the water, the organizers don't have another place where to put the marker. If you're not landing in the landing zone, you're landing in the water. And here in Norway, the fjords, that water is cold. And I don't like cold water.
Colombian Jonathan Flores is first to jump and makes a great start. Flying fast into the turn, he banks well past the mark. It looks like Jonathan's flown a great race, but after the finish line, he opens his parachute late and is disqualified for a low pull. In this competition, a jumper has to open their parachute early enough so that they spend at least 20 seconds floating to Earth. This rule stops jumpers from diving too low for speed and opening their chutes dangerously close to the ground. The unfavourable westerly wind is pushing jumpers away from the landing area, and with lots of pilots ending up in the water and some close calls amongst the rocks, it's lucky that nobody gets seriously injured.
After watching the first 5 go off, it looks like the goal for this jump is just not to land in the water.
Event leader Alistair flies a fast race and executes a great sharp turn, but joins the ranks of those who missed the marker and falls victim to the controversial disqualification rule.
Sasha, please confirm if Alistair was out.
It was number 40. I think he was out.
Copy that.
Alistair knows he's lost an opportunity to cement his lead on the tour, and his early disqualification opens the door for the rest of the field to stake their claim on the title. The first 2 rounds are full of upsets, with 8 out of 36 pilots disqualified for not turning outside of the marker. Amongst them, the fastest pilot of the day, South African Julian Bull.
Julian was out too. And he did a super fast time again, 29.7. He was out. Okay.
This bad run cost Julian not only a shot at winning €10,000, but also puts his chances of a world title in jeopardy after 2 poor finishes out of 5 events.
The gate was really hard to see. And it's basically a tarp on the ground with the camera going up. The camera guy's all great, we got a great visual. But as a pilot, you're like, am I past it now? It's 2,000 feet below me. Julian, he was missing it by like a meter, 2 meters, which I don't think is fair, you know? And he was doing 10 seconds less than most people.
I'm really nervous about the turn, nervous about being disqualified, nervous about not understanding if I am on the outside.
I'm jumping now. Hey, everyone, I'm jumping.
Last year's tour winner Espen Fadnis is one of the last to fly and is understandably nervous about missing the turn. In the end, he nails it and posts the day's fastest time. While many of the favourites are going to be watching the rest of the event from the sideline, leading lady Ellen Brennan advances to the semis with the 10th fastest time.
That was so fun. I was so happy to get off. It was like super windy up there and it's starting to rain. I was getting a little nervous. I'm pretty sure I didn't cut the corner too short, but that flight felt really, really good.
Also showing great form in the early rounds is Gleb Vorovodin. This big Russian lets his flying do the talking with solid turns and fast times. Frenchman Ludovic Wirth's a tour regular. He's made it to the podium in previous races, but has yet to get a first-place finish. Ludo's well suited to this race format and is looking good in the early rounds. The constantly increasing westerly wind is creating problems for even the most experienced pilots.
So as soon as that wind kicks up, everyone's smashing into these rocks and smashing everywhere. It's just every jump is a peanut gallery. Yeah.
I like showing off, yeah. Particularly good canopy pilot. Most people know this about me.
With 10 jumpers disqualified in the early rounds of the first ever U-Turn event, Hubert now has his hands full, calming down some very unhappy athletes.
The main thing is we're in. We didn't get disqualified, so.
Many upsets.
Yeah, a lot of upsets today.
I bust the corner on one of my rounds, which means I'm disqualified, and I've got nothing to average out, so I'm out of the competition.
A couple of the actual big dogs disqualified because they missed the turn marker. They simply flew it too tight, took too high of a risk on it, and that left them out of the competition. It is very disappointing for them, obviously, but it also shows that you have to fly a very, very tactical race. Not only be fast, but also plan your flight and be tactical.
I think the rule set in the race needed some adjustments so that the word disqualification would have been changed to penalty or a 0 score. I don't think the pilots who missed the corner deserve to be eliminated from the race. They were pushing their own performance boundary, really trying to get everything that they could out of their run, and they didn't do anything as a safety infraction. The pilots who pulled under the low pull limit, the 20-second limitation that we have, they should be disqualified. That's the whole reason that that low pull limitation is there. I think you're going to see in future races that there's going to be different verbiage used in the rules set out beforehand so that we don't have those disqualifications happening to pilots pushing their edge.
Helen Brennan is the most competitive woman on tour. She finished in the top 20 of the Istanbul Showdown and is through to the top 16 of this event, showing she's more than able to compete with the men.
When I turned 18, I went skydiving for my birthday with my dad and got really addicted to that very quickly. And after a while, I realized we could start base jumping. From there, I was like, okay, I'm only going to jump off of bridges and out of paragliders and balloons, and that's all I really need to do to stay happy. And then, you know, 20 jumps later, I was like, man, there's some really cool cliffs by my house. Like, bet you we could jump off of those. So psyched. After that, it was pretty much game over. Right now, I'm living right outside of Chamonix. There's these massive cliffs everywhere. Right out my back door, I have a 2,000-meter base jump that I can hike to from my house. And, you know, just across the valley, there's the Mont Blanc, and it's one of the most magical places I've ever been in. And we get to see these mountains from a completely different perspective, too. Like, you hike up along the ledge of this cliff you want to jump off of to find an exit point. And when you finally find it, you get to jump off of it, and then you know that you're seeing this mountain from a way that no one else has ever seen it before. And it's really satisfying to get to explore the mountains that way. I am definitely addicted to base jumping or any sort of sport that has to do with being in the mountains. If I can't base jump, I'll be paragliding or rock climbing or speed flying. But if I don't get to do one of those sports and over a span of 2 days maybe, I become a real bitch. Like, it's because I need it to be happy, which is also really unfortunate because if something happens where I'm not able to do these sports, I don't know what's going to happen.
I wouldn't stop if somebody told me, but it's a good feeling. That's why we do it.
When I first started jumping, I had a real fire burning inside to do as many jumps as I could, and yeah. Jump 24/7. The idea of owning a rig, having perfect weather and an object outside and not jumping seemed insane. But over time, that mellowed out, and I would have to say that having a child has changed things. I still love jumping, but when I stood on the edge for the first time after having a child, the thoughts running through the mind were different.
I don't think I'm addicted. Yeah, okay, I am, maybe a little bit. I think what I'm addicted to is coping, to cope with my fear.
It's not really addictive in the sense that you want those chemicals in your body. It's addictive in the sense that you want to pursue more technical lines. You want to be able to become more proficient at flying.
When I'm away from base jumping, it's the people and the friends and the barbecues and the hikes that I miss. I don't have to be flying 3 feet off the ground with my hair on fire to be happy. That's not it.
I don't know if I would feel that it's an addiction for me. I choose consciously when I want to take part and when I don't want to take part. When I've felt like I was uncomfortable with it and I didn't want to do it, I leave. And I think the difference between an addiction and choice is when you're able to make those decisions and just walk away. An addict doesn't have those choices.
Humans have dreamt about unassisted flight since time began, but only in recent years have a couple of visionaries turned this dream into a reality. Croatian Robert Pečnik was part of the team that manufactured the first commercially available wingsuits in 1999 and is regarded as one of the founding fathers of modern wingsuiting.
I wanted to always make a suit for myself, which will listen to my kind of needs for flying style I have. And I had a good knowledge of how to make stuff. I mean, I never went into the school for, how to sew, how to design this and that, but this is just like, I don't know, my mom said golden hands.
Robert's current wingsuit developments and designs focus on performance and speed.
I think that wingsuiting itself, it will divide in more discipline and like in more specific suits for specific reasons. In terms of performance, I'm not so optimistic like some other guys. I like to calm them down and say that there is always theory behind and physics and mathematics, which is very brutal. Planes were designed by facts, not by let's do, let's try, and it should be okay. I'm not so enthusiastic saying we're gonna fly like Peter Pan all over, going up, down, you know, left and right with the speed of light. I'm realistic in that aspect.
Like the time you just think, turn, and it goes.
Tony Uragalo has over 40 years skydiving experience, and as the owner of Tony Suits, is another driving force in the world of wingsuit design.
I was interested and watched it, see if it gets popular. It did, so I started making them about 6 years ago. If you're going to hit something, and you'll be out there. I've loved it for the last 6 years, because it's physics. You know, we're testing these things at 200 miles an hour in a dive to see how fast you can go and come out of the dive and how smooth it is, how much turbulence you get with the thing and how you have to change your position. It's a fascinating subject, I love it. Worry is if you get a full start, you get 3 seconds. Onwards, new fabrics, just new ideas, little bits all the time. It'll just keep on changing like anything.
With such radical advances in wingsuit design in the past 3 decades, the future of the sport is sure to be interesting.
When people see the idea of spreading your arms and legs out and flying through the sky, flying down a mountain, and they recognize that's flying, I could tell you 100% for sure that base jumping in the public eye is shifting to a different perspective because of wingsuit flying.
When you're free falling without a wingsuit, the ground is coming at you and it's coming fast and you can see the place on the ground and you're gonna leave a mark. And you're just like, your body just wants to live and you'll, pull, you know? But wingsuiting, you're slowed down and you got more time to think, more time to fly. And when you get low, you don't think you're low because you're going so slow. The ground's not trying to swallow you up yet, you know? And yeah, your brain can process a little bit better.
There's so many different configurations that we can fly our bodies and our wingsuits to that is just like the Pandora box of human flight. Everything that we can achieve and everything that we can do. And just wingsuits keep getting better and better.
There's new disciplines in the sport. The races are really starting to kick in. They're getting more organization. There's a tour this year.
We're getting more and more in the mainstream. You're seeing more people becoming athletes, getting sponsorships, and it's just a matter of time before we go completely mainstream, and that'll be awesome for all of us. It will be awesome for the athletes, it will be awesome for the sponsors, it will be awesome for the manufacturers, and we don't have to eat tuna in a can anymore, so that'll be pretty good.
What's next? There has to be a stop to how big the suits can actually be as well, you know?
The wingsuits are really pushing the boundaries right now of what their potential is. I don't see a lot more performance coming out of what we currently have available. Small improvements. If we see a 5% improvement in the next 5 years, it's going to be a large amount. I really think we're starting to hit the crest of available lift and energy from the amount of muscle mass and weight and leverage and everything that exists in the human body combined with the suit.
The unpredictable Norwegian weather has come to the party for the final day of competition. and the semi-finalists gathered beside the fjord's mirror-still waters know they're in for an epic day.
I can't believe how beautiful it is right now. There's no wind. It's insane, right? Look at the water. It's like a mirror.
Unreal. Yeah, this is gonna be a nice day today.
I'm gonna smoke you.
With so many disqualifications in the early rounds, there are some unexpected semi-finalists climbing into the helicopter for the short trip up to the Kjerag.
I'd like to start from 16 down, so we go last now. 16 Espen Fadnes, 15 Gleb Vorevodin.
One of the surprise packages of the contest so far is a softly spoken and little-known Gleb Vorevodin from Russia, whose speed and consistency in the qualifying rounds mark him as a man to watch in the finals. Ellen Brennan has made it through to the semis as the 10th fastest pilot in qualifying, becoming the first lady ever to make it this far in a wingsuiting race. Ellen's success is even more remarkable considering this is her first time at Kjerag and she's flying in a new suit. After all the disqualifications in the early rounds, the semi-finalists all play it safe. And with nobody missing the marker, it's the fastest flyers making it through to the final 8.
I tried to save, do it more safe. So maybe I lost a little time, but I should be fine on the corner turn, and yeah, then it's the finals.
Yesterday we had a lot of disqualifications. I think 8 were disqualified here at the corner, so they take the turn much wider today.
Making a remarkable comeback to professional wingsuiting is Robert Pechnik, competing in his first race after suffering a serious injury.
I had a very hard opening and I snapped my spine, my back, and it was quite nasty injury.
Robert's 30 years of experience shows in the semis, and he advances to the finals with the 3rd fastest time behind Noah Banson and Gleb Vorevodin.
First place, Gleb Vorevodin. On 2nd place, Noah Banson. On 3rd place, Robert Pechnik. On 4th place, Ludo Wirth.
As the 8 finalists are announced, it's a bittersweet moment for Ellen.
I made it into the finals. The girls' big way was going off at the exact same time, and I was just like, can't believe this.
A big way is a planned mass base jump. It's all about fun, but needs good coordination to keep it safe.
Hey guys, I made the finals. Okay, goodness gracious! Go Ellen! Thanks, so tell all the girls I'm sorry I can't be there, but have a super fun jump.
Of course I had to go to the final round because no girl's ever done that before, but I was pretty sad watching all the girls jump into the heli together without me.
This big way will set a record with 15 ladies leaping from the cliffs of Kjerag and has been carefully organised by Norwegian jumper Hege Ringard.
The local guys were like, Hege, make sure that there are 3 boats at the landing area. Usually there's 1. Because he was like, yeah, there's for sure going to be at least 1 girl in the water.
On all guitars. The mood is so perfect, the songs keep us warm.
Everybody came in perfectly. We totally proved them massively wrong, because all the girls, like I said, were coming in one by one.
It totally worked, and everybody was so polite underneath me, like nobody cut me off. So awesome.
But then there was I think it was a 9-way with guys jumping after us, and they did pretty much everything kind of wrong.
With the ladies having successfully set a new world record and shown the boys how it should be done, it's back to the serious business of the contest. As the finalists suit up for the last time, the mood gets tense, with all eyes focused on the finish line and the first prize of €10,000 that lies beyond. Noah Banson gets the finals off to a good start with a fast time and a safe turn, setting the bar for the pilots who follow. Desperate to get his first win on the Probase Tour, French pilot Ludo Wirth pushes too hard trying to shave off the seconds, and is shattered to find he's cut the U-turn.
Disqualified.
I waited so long after that marker. I was really thinking I was okay on this one. And just when I started turning, I saw that, yeah, it's a little bit there, it's right there, but I really think I was okay with that turn.
All eyes are on crowd favourite Ellen Brennan, the first lady ever to make it to a wingsuiting final. Ellen flies a great race and feels like she's done enough to reach the podium.
I felt like I pulled a little low, but I still had enough time under canopy. So, all in all, it was a really, really fun jump. And I hope I, at least went faster than 7 of the other guys here.
But the judges aren't convinced, and she's disqualified for missing the turn. As the final comes down to the wire, it's wingsuiting legend Robbie Pechnik who piles on the pressure, going into first position with the best time so far. Chasing first spot, last year's tour winner Espen Fadnis knows he has to pull out all the stops. He posts the fastest time of the final, but joins the growing ranks of the disqualified.
Espen Fadnis, he just jumped for the final round, and apparently on the turn marker he was inside the allowed point, and therefore that means disqualification.
I knew I had to give 100%, get a perfect run to be at the top. I mean, I wasn't interested in second place, it was first place that counted. So I gave 100% and I kept the corner. And nothing to do about it.
With 4 out of 8 finalists disqualified, little-known Russian Gleb should be sweating, but the big man is calm and collected at exit, and shows how it's done with another fast and flawless run to win the event. Robbie Pechnik takes second, and American Team Skydive Dubai member Noah Banson claims third.
Ну, я говорю, в первую очередь просто повезло. Делал выводы, я анализировал, и я решил, что лучше не стараться пролететь очень быстро, а главное, чтобы показывать средние результаты и не быть дисквалифицированным. Может быть, поэтому. Я не старался лететь на свой максимум, я старался сделать все правильно.
The first ever U-Turn race has been full of controversy, upsets and surprises. But at the end of the second leg of the Probase Tour, Russian Gleb Vorovodin's win pushes him into second place on the overall rankings, tied with Alistair McCartney from the UK on 100 points. While Canadian Jason Maletsky's consistency rewards him with a tentative hold on top spot, 6 points ahead. For now, as the sun sets over Kjerag, winners and losers join together to celebrate an awesome week of jumping and look forward to the contests still to come.
We got the race done, all the rounds were planned, and I think so far it's going really well. Helicopters and sunshine in Norway are a miraculous combination.
Overall, I think it went well. No, it didn't, because I didn't even make the final, so. But it was fun, I had a ball, I just wish I flew faster.
Number 8, and this is the biggest surprise of the whole race. I'm very, very proud personally. Ellen Brennan, fantastic job. And that leaves us with the surprise of the race. Unbelievable. From Russia, the man, the myth. Nobody ever heard of him before, Mr. Gleb Vorovodin, winning the Probase U-Turn.
Ну, я как бы после там 2-3 туров понимал, что как бы есть шанс занять призовое место, но то, что выиграю, как бы до конца не был уверен, конечно.
The next event, there might be a few more girls competing, and it'll be really excited to see if we can help each other improve and get better, and hopefully we'll have a few of us on the podium by the end of the season.
The next stop on the tour is the prestigious World Base Race in Innfjorden, Norway. After all the drama of the first ever U-Turn race, Hubert's hoping for less controversy at this well-established event. The World Base Race is the longest-running wingsuit race and one of the most exciting to watch, with pilots racing head-to-head in a flat-out drag race across the sky. The race takes place in defending Probase champion Espen Fadnes's backyard, and he will be pushing hard for a win. But with past event winners like Frode Johansson and Tony Uragalo racing, the only sure thing is that the racing is going to be spectacular.